Alright, that's part two of replacing the seat bun on the driver's side on the 04 H2 Hummer. At this point, I've got the seat removed. I went over the four bolts there in the first video, and there was like one electrical connector you had to disconnect, and then you just pull the seat out. And I've got it in the back here, lying down, and this whole rack assembly here. You could probably just pull it out to replace the seat bun, but I left it in, um, and because I didn't want to disconnect all these different connectors. And so basically, there were two nuts, one here and one here, that I took off. And then at the bottom here, these are just like plastic studs that ride in these slots here. And so there was nothing to take off here. And this loosened up the this whole rack enough so that I could peel off the old seat cover and then insert the new one um, without a huge amount of hassle. It wasn't too bad, and then I just avoided having to take this whole rack bottom rack assembly off. Um, and there's basically just long plastic clips that you just have to peel off. I'll show them later in the video here, but there's one that just runs all the way along the top here. And this one actually wasn't even connected when I did take the seat out. I guess over the years has I don't know, stretched out the foam or the rubber, and it just didn't want to go back in, but it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't even noticeable until you took the seat out. And then there was plastic clips, long plastic clips along the sides on each side here, and there were like this one in the back you see running along here, and there's one on this side, one on that side, and basically you just peel those back, and there's a couple more I'll show here in a minute, little small ones off to the side, and you just pop those all off, and then you can peel the seat. You can peel the seat right off the foam. And I made the mistake of ordering the seat cover um, without the heater pad or the heater wiring. I think this little green clip here I think that's the power connector. Two little wires run up into the seat itself, the cover, and I guess I don't know if there's a heater wires in there or whatever, but I didn't order that with my seat, so I just disconnected it, and I cut the two wires that go in there. Um, So basically the first thing I did was to loosen or take off these two nuts to loosen this rack up, and then it gave me enough room to take this side piece, this black piece off. It has like four Phillips heads screws, and it was kind of once I loosened took these nuts off, it allowed this rack to loosen up enough that I could pull this out. I'm not even sure if you have to pull it out, but I pulled it out, and just do a little tour here. You can see the seat control module here. Ties into the network, talks to the main computer, all its connectors. There you can see the lip along here for the front. Got your foam there. There's nothing here really to look at. Wandering around here. Alright, there's the two little clips here. They're kind of like on the back corners of the cushion, and they feed in through the rack here and go around this edge, this metal edge. You just pull them back. You'll see a little later in the video me doing that. There's two sets of these clips on both sides on the rear corners of the seat bund. I've already loosened them here. More random shots. Alright, the same clips on the other side. There's the back clip again. That comes off. There's the studs there that had to take the nuts off to loosen this whole rack, the track system, to loosen it up so I could get the side plastic pieces off and the seat cushion, the seat cover itself. Alright, I'm trying to get a better shot here of I've already loosened the back one, it's off. It went around, yeah, that's the metal edge that goes along. Taking off those little clips on the back corners. Just pop off. They are kind of a tight squeeze between the track and the main frame of the seat. They'll just pop out, work them out, work them back in on the new seat cushion the same way. You can see the side track there peeled off, the side plastic clip here. Just pops off that edge along the side. The front one it wasn't even connected, all along the top here wasn't even connected, so I could just peel back the seat cover. It rides along, that front piece supposed to ride along there, and I couldn't even get that connected on the new one. And here I've got the old cover sitting on top of the new one. The only difference on the old one, you can see some Velcro strips here. That wasn't on the replacement one I got. But all the regular clips came with the replacement, with the new replacement plastic clips. It had all of those. You can see the old ones on the side, the rear corner here I was talking about. Then the one that runs all along the back. There's the wiring right there. I think the two wires that went into the heater pad. And you can see how shiny the old one is. And then that's what it looks like with the new one on. I don't know if it's, I mean, it looks pretty good. I noticed that it's not shiny. I don't know if that's like all the butts polishing it over the years, that makes the leather shiny, or if this is a type of leather, or if it's a cheaper leather, I don't know. So it's not all shiny like the old one was. And of course the color is not exact. I mean, I got the color code off the glove compartment box, and it looks really pretty good. This seat back's like, whatever, 14 years older than this, so probably going to be some color differences because it's new. And the other thing I didn't cover yet was this plastic piece on the side here uses torque. Um, there are torque screws here to attach this plastic. You take those off, and this whole plastic piece pops out. And the scariest part of the installation was that, the new seat cover doesn't have a hole in here. You have to cut it yourself. And it looks like they did the same thing at the factory. They basically did a horizontal cut here in the leather, and I mean a vertical cut here in the leather, and then a horizontal cut that ran back to about this point, and then it went into like a V cut back here. So I just took it and lined it up exactly, like the old one, and just followed the same cuts with a razor and cut into it. So you got a one-time shot of getting that right. But there is some play in that, and it allows you, with those slots cut in, allows you enough play to get this whole plastic, panel out to the outside, and then once you screw it in, it covers the cuts, and it looked like the factory did it the same way. So yeah, you be the judge how good it looks or how bad it looks. But it was okay for an amateur and a first time install. Um, I don't know. We'll have to see how it rides out in the end, how it seats in that. But it looks pretty decent to me. Um, so just to go over again, once you loosen the bolts for the seat and one electrical connector in the back, I didn't show you. It pops out, no big deal. And then loosen those two nuts on the bottom rack, just to loosen the rack up. Pop all the plastic clips off, peel off the seat, and then you can insert your new one. Oh, and here's the big plastic piece here. So when I loosen the two nuts for the bottom track, then I can take these. I took these Phillips heads out, and it gave me enough room to pop this whole plastic piece out. And then torque nuts on this to loosen it, and peel the cover off, put the new one in.